Welcome to Empower Life with Cleopatra, the show where we explore the stories behind the headlines, challenge assumptions, and uncover the truth behind the conversation that everyone seems to be having. Over the last 3 years, something extraordinary has happened in Hollywood. Actors became thinner, comedians became slimmer, television stars looked dramatically different, even billionaires started showing up looking like entirely new people. The internet noticed, rumors exploded, social media became obsessed, and suddenly everyone was asking the same question: who's taking Ozempic? But tonight we are asking a different question. Not who's taking it, but why. Because behind every dramatic transformation is a story. Sometimes it's a story about diabetes, sometimes obesity, sometimes aging, sometimes insecurity, sometimes pressure, sometimes survival, and sometimes regret. Tonight, we are separating fact from fiction. We are following the evidence and we are investigating one of the biggest health stories Hollywood has ever seen. This is Hollywood Ozempic era, the drug that changed celebrity culture. Now, let's get one thing straight. Ozempic wasn't invented for celebrities. It wasn't invented for influencers. It wasn't invented so actors could fit into smaller designer outfits. It was created to help people living with type 2 diabetes. But doctors quickly noticed something remarkably different. Patients weren't just controlling their blood sugar, many were losing significant amounts of weight. Researchers investigated. Drug companies developed similar medications: Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound. Suddenly, medicine had stumbled upon something the world had been chasing for decades, a treatment that could help people lose weight. Hollywood noticed almost immediately because in an industry where appearance often affects opportunity, weight has always mattered, whether we like it or not. Now, there are so many reasons why celebrities say they use GLP-1. Obesity, diabetes, health concerns, aging metabolism, weight gain, mobility, body image. But here's where the story becomes complicated, because while some celebrities were taking these medications under medical supervision, others were simply accused. Some admitted it, some denied it, some never responded, and somewhere between the truth and speculation, an entirely new industry was born: the Ozempic rumor machine. Let's begin with perhaps the most famous weight loss journey in television history. Because before social media, before TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, one woman spent 40 years fighting her weight in public. Her name? Oprah Winfrey. Oprah confirmed using GLP-1 medication publicly. For decades, Oprah Winfrey's weight became front page news. Every diet, every success, every setback, the world watched it unfold. She tried dieting and exercises and lifestyle programs and Weight Watchers and discipline and willpower. Yet the cycle kept repeating. Then something changed. In 2023, Oprah publicly revealed that she had started using a prescription weight loss medication, not because she wanted a Hollywood body, but because she had changed the way she viewed obesity. Instead of seeing obesity as a failure of willpower, she described it as a chronic medical condition that for some people may require medical treatment. That admission shocked millions. Not because Oprah had used that medication, but because she had spent years encouraging people to believe that determination alone was enough. Public reaction was deeply divided. Supporters praised her honesty and critics accused her of changing her position. But Oprah remained firm. For her, it wasn't about vanity, it was about health. But Oprah's story also teaches us something important. Even one of the richest and most influential women on earth spent decades struggling with weight. Money couldn't save it, neither could fame, which reminds us that obesity is often far more complicated than simply eating less and exercising more. But if Oprah's story changed public opinions, our next celebrity changed the conversation entirely, because she achieved the result everyone wanted and then turned around and warned everyone else to be careful. Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne didn't hide it. She openly admitted taking Ozempic, and initially the results were dramatic. She lost 42 pounds. The internet exploded. Headlines celebrated her transformation. People wanted to know her secret. But then everything changed. Sharon began saying she'd lost too much weight. He described looking almost unrecognizable. She admitted struggling to regain weight after stopping the medication. He warned that these drugs should never be treated casually. Think about that. One of the most recognizable women in the entertainment industry achieved exactly what millions of people dreamed about: rapid weight loss. Yet her message became, "Be careful what you wish for." It was one of the first times that a celebrity publicly challenged the idea that thinner automatically means healthier. Sharon's honesty opened the door for other celebrities to start talking about the side effects, and before long, the floodgates opened. Next, one of the greatest basketball players in history, a man famous for saying exactly what's on his mind, Charles Barkley. And what he admitted surprised almost everyone. Charles Barkley has never been known for holding back, whether he's talking basketball, politics, golf, or himself. You'd usually know exactly where you stand. So when his appearance began changing dramatically, people started asking questions. Unlike many celebrities, Charles didn't allow rumors to spread. He answered the question himself. Now, why did he take it? Charles explained that as he got older, carrying excess weight became more difficult. His knees weren't getting younger. His body wasn't recovering the way it once had. Like millions of people entering their 60s, he realized something had to change. Rather than chasing a Hollywood image, he says he was chasing something much more important, a healthier future. Charles has said he lost more than 60 pounds using Mounjaro, a medication related to Ozempic that works through similar hormone pathways. For him, the results were dramatic. More energy, less strain on his body, improved mobility. He has spoken positively about the experience, describing it as a tool that helped him regain control over his health. But Charles has also made it clear that the medication wasn't the whole story. It wasn't magic. He still had to change his eating habits. He still had to commit to healthier choices. And that may be one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding these drugs. They can assist, they don't replace lifestyle changes. Charles' story represents one side of this debate. A celebrity who openly says the medication helped him. No scandal, no secrecy, just honesty. But our next celebrity took transparency to another level. Because when the richest man in the world jokingly calls himself Ozempic Santa, the internet exploded. Elon Musk. Now, few people influence global conversations quite like Elon Musk. Every tweet becomes news, every comment sparks debate, every photograph is analyzed. So when people noticed Elon appearing noticeably slimmer, speculations spread almost instantly. Was it diet? Was it exercise? Was it stress? Or something else? For months, nobody knew. Then Elon answered the question himself. In Elon's own words, nothing would do more to improve the health, lifespan, and quality of Americans than making GLP inhibitors super low cost to the public. Unquote. He later confirmed that he has used Mounjaro, not Ozempic, but Mounjaro, another GLP-1 medication used for diabetes and weight management. In typical Elon fashion, he even joked online that he was Ozempic Santa. The comment immediately went viral. Supporters praised his openness. Critics argued he was normalizing medications many people couldn't afford. Others questioned whether celebrities and billionaires were driving demand, making it harder for patients with diabetes to access treatment during shortages. Regardless of where people stood, Elon's admission highlighted something much bigger. These medications were no longer confined to doctors' surgery. They had become part of mainstream culture, politics, business, entertainment, social media. Everybody seems to have an opinion. But not every celebrity walked away celebrating. For some, the side effects became the real story. Perhaps no one had spoken more candidly about that than Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler's story is unlike almost anyone else's, not because of the drug, but because of how she says she started taking it. Chelsea had publicly explained that her anti-aging doctor prescribed her a medication. At first, she says she didn't even realize it was Ozempic. She noticed changes almost immediately. Her appetite disappeared. Food no longer interested her. She started losing weight. Then she asked the obvious question, what exactly am I taking? When she discovered it was Ozempic, she decided to stop. Chelsea later admitted something many viewers found refreshing. She said she didn't feel comfortable taking medications simply to become thinner when she believed she didn't medically need it. She even joked she handed her remaining medication to a friend. That comment sparked criticism because prescription medication should only be used under medical supervision. But beyond the humor was a serious point. Chelsea became another celebrity reminding audiences that these medications are not fashion accessories. They are prescription medicines. Her story also revealed another uncomfortable truth. The demand for rapid weight loss had become so intense that some clinics were prescribing GLP-1 drugs in situations where many people questioned whether they were appropriate. That fueled a much bigger debate. Were these drugs becoming overused? Or were they finally treating obesity like the chronic disease many doctors believed it is? As comedians, Amy Schumer and Chelsea Handler used humor to talk about their experiences. Our next celebrity used something even more powerful: perspective. Because for Whoopi Goldberg, the conversation wasn't about looking younger. It was about continuing to live life on her own terms. Whoopi had spent more than 4 decades entertaining the world. She is one of the few performers to achieve EGOT status, winning an Emmy, a Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. But behind the awards and the laughter was a challenge familiar to millions of people: maintaining health as you grow older. Whoopi had spoken openly about using GLP-1, a medication after reaching a weight that she felt was affecting her overall well-being. Unlike some celebrity stories driven by image, Whoopi framed her decision around health and mobility. She wanted to feel better, move better, and live better. What made her comments so refreshing was their honesty. She wasn't claiming there was an easy shortcut. She wasn't pretending the journey had been effortless. She simply acknowledged that the medication became one part of improving her health. That distinction is important because one of the biggest myths surrounding Ozempic is that it works in isolation. Doctors consistently emphasize that these medications work best alongside changes in diet, physical activity, and long-term lifestyle habits. Whoopi's story reminds us that there isn't one reason people choose these medications. For some, it's diabetes. For others, it's obesity. For others, it's mobility. Every journey is different. But while Whoopi spoke about health, our next celebrity had spent almost her entire adult life battling public judgment over her appearance. Kelly Osbourne. Growing up in the Osbourne family meant growing up in front of millions of people. Every hairstyle, every outfit, every mistake, every kilogram gained or lost became public conversation. Kelly had spoken openly over the years about struggling with her weight, changing her eating habits, and transforming her lifestyle. As her appearance changed dramatically, the internet immediately did what it now does best. It started guessing. Was it Ozempic? Was it surgery? Was it diet? Was it exercise? The speculation spread much faster than facts. Kelly has repeatedly pushed back against assumptions that every weight loss story must involve Ozempic. Her experience highlights a problem that affects many celebrities today. Lose weight naturally, people assume you cheated. Gain weight, people criticize you. Maintain your weight, people still comment. It's a reminder that celebrity bodies have become public entertainment, often without consent. Perhaps that's the greatest lesson from Kelly's story. Sometimes the loudest headlines tell us more about society than they do about the celebrity themselves. Now, let's briefly cross over from the United States to Great Britain and talk about Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry isn't a Hollywood actor in the traditional sense. He is a writer, a broadcaster, and actor. He is one of Britain's most respected intellectuals. So when he spoke about GLP-1 medication, people listened. Not because of celebrity gossip, but because of the thoughtful way he approached the conversation. Stephen explains that these drugs represent one of the biggest breakthroughs in obesity treatments in decades. But he also warned against simplistic thinking. He reminded audiences that obesity is often a complex medical condition influenced by genetics, environment, psychology, and metabolism, not simply a lack of willpower. His message wasn't that these drugs are a miracle, nor was it that they are dangerous for everyone. His message was balance. Use them responsibly. Use them under medical supervision. And remember that no injection replaces healthy habits. Stephen's calm, measured perspective offered something that had been missing from much of the public debate nuance. But while Stephen Fry was urging balance, our next celebrity represents an entirely different generation, one shaped not by tabloids, but by social media. Lottie Moss. Model, influencer, and younger sister of fashion icon Kate Moss. When Lottie spoke publicly about trying a GLP-1 medication, her story quickly became one of the strongest cautionary tales in this entire documentary. She later revealed that she had experienced severe side effects after using the medication. She described becoming seriously unwell. Her message afterwards was direct. These drugs are powerful medicines. They are not something to experiment with casually, especially without proper medical supervision. Her honesty resonated with millions of young people on TikTok and Instagram because unlike many celebrity interviews, Lottie's wasn't about glamour, it was about consequences. Her experience reminded viewers that social media often shows the before and after. They rarely show the nausea and the exhaustion and complications. Our final confirmed celebrity brings us back to something we've heard repeatedly tonight. Health, not perfection. Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan has survived challenges that would have ended many careers. He's spoken openly about rebuilding his health after life-changing events. So when he discussed using a GLP-1 medication, it wasn't framed as Hollywood beauty treatment. It was framed as another step looking after his health. His focus wasn't on looking younger, it was on staying alive younger, staying active, and continuing to perform. Perhaps that's the biggest takeaway from the celebrities we've heard from tonight. Very few describe these medications as beauty products. Most describe them as health decisions, but that doesn't mean they are risk-free. Far from it. Now, we arrive at the most controversial chapter of this investigation because not every celebrity we see online has admitted taking Ozempic. Some haven't confirmed anything, some have denied the rumors, and others have decided not to respond at all. Yet, that hasn't stopped millions of strangers from trying to diagnose them from photographs. And that's where this story becomes uncomfortable because losing weight is not proof that someone is taking Ozempic, nor is gaining weight proof that someone isn't. Now, let's look at some of the names frequently pulled into the conversation. Kim Kardashian. After Kim Kardashian appeared noticeably slimmer during the 2022 Met Gala and in subsequent public appearances, speculation spread rapidly across social media. No public confirmation followed. Kim has not publicly confirmed using Ozempic or another GLP-1 medication. The discussion remains speculation. Khloe Kardashian. Khloe has spent years documenting her fitness journey. Despite that, every transformation seems to reignite Ozempic rumors. She has repeatedly attributed her physique to exercise, discipline, and lifestyle changes. No public confirmation of GLP-1 use. Christina Aguilera. My God. After dramatic weight loss, rumors flooded entertainment websites. Christina has not publicly confirmed using Ozempic. The speculation remains exactly that. Speculation. Ariana Grande. When Ariana appeared significantly slimmer, concern spread online. Ariana later urged people to stop assuming someone's health based solely on appearance. Her message was powerful. You never know what someone is going through, which is true. Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez has lupus. She has undergone a kidney transplant and has spoken openly about medications that can affect weight. Despite this, she continues to face online speculation. Her story demonstrates why guessing someone's medical history from photographs can be harmful. Demi Moore, Nicole Kidman, Miley Cyrus, LaToya Jackson, Cynthia Erivo. Each of these celebrities have been drawn into online speculation at various points. But as of the time of this documentary, there is no public confirmation from them that they have used Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or similar medications for weight loss. That distinction matters because evidence should always matter more than rumors. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson of all because the internet has become very good at guessing. But guessing is not the same as knowing. So after everything we've covered tonight, one final question remains. Has Hollywood gone too far? So we've spent a considerable amount of time separating facts from fiction. We've heard from celebrities who openly admitted to taking Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, or similar medications. We've heard from celebrities who regretted using it. Others said it transformed their lives. And we've also uncovered something very fascinating. The internet doesn't wait for facts anymore. It sees a slimmer face, a sharper jawline, or a different dress size, and immediately it reaches the verdict, Ozempic. But perhaps the biggest question isn't who's taking these medications. Perhaps the bigger question is why has society become so obsessed with them? Because the truth is, Ozempic didn't create Hollywood's beauty standards. It simply exposed them. Hollywood has always rewarded youth, always rewarded slimness, always rewarded perfection. The medication simply arrived at an industry already desperately searching for the next miracle. And that's why this conversation has become so emotional. Because it really isn't about injections. It's about identity. It's about aging. It's about acceptance. It's about fear. And perhaps the most of all, it's about comparison. You've probably heard the phrase Ozempic face. It's become one of the most searched terms associated with this medication. But what does it actually mean? It isn't a recognized medical diagnosis. Instead, it's a nickname that emerged after people noticed some celebrities looking much older in the face following rapid weight loss. And here's why. When we lose a significant amount of weight quickly, our faces lose fat as well. The cheeks can appear more hollow, wrinkles may become more noticeable, and the jawline becomes sharper. The eyes can appear deeper set. Doctors point out that this isn't unique to Ozempic. It can happen after any significant amount of weight loss, whether that weight is lost through surgery or diet or exercise or illness or medication. Yet, because Ozempic became the headline, the face became the headline too. Suddenly, every celebrity photograph became a celebrity investigation. One week, people criticized celebrities for being overweight. The next, they criticized them for being too thin. Just think about that for a moment. How do you win? How do you win? The answer is you don't. Because perfection keeps moving. And that's exactly where social media enters the story. 20 years ago, most people compared themselves to perhaps 5 or 10 celebrities they occasionally saw in magazines. Today, we compare ourselves to hundreds of people every single day, every scroll, every reel, every TikTok, every before and after. every influencer, every celebrity, every edited photograph, every filtered video. Psychologists call this upward social comparison. This is the constant habit of measuring ourselves against people we believe are doing better than us, looking better than us, living better than us. The problem? We are usually comparing our real lives to someone else's highlight reel. And that comparison slowly changes the way we see ourselves. And that's one reason Ozempic became more than a medication. It became a symbol of transformation, a symbol of hope, but also a symbol of pressure. And sometimes with some not so pleasant consequences. Imagine being a 16-year-old scrolling through your phone. You see actress after actress, singer after singer, influencer after influencer, all appearing slimmer than ever before. You don't know who's exercising. You don't know who's dieting. You don't know who's using filters. You don't know who's taking medications. You don't know who's editing their photographs. All you see is the result. And eventually you begin to ask yourself, why don't I look like that? That's where comparison becomes dangerous, because comparison quietly steals contentment. Throughout this documentary, we've talked a lot about physical weight, but perhaps the heaviest burden isn't carried by the body, it's carried by the mind. Because behind every transformation is a person with insecurities, fears, dreams, pressure, and emotions. Sharon Osbourne reminded us that losing weight doesn't automatically bring happiness. Amy Schumer reminded us that looking thinner isn't worth sacrificing your well-being. Lottie Moss reminded us that powerful medications deserve respect, not experimentation. Whoopi Goldberg reminded us that health is far more important than appearance. Charles Barkley reminded us that longevity matters more than vanity. Oprah Winfrey challenged decades of shame by asking us to rethink obesity as a chronic medical condition rather than a personal moral failure. Different people, different stories, different outcomes, but one common thread. Every one of them was trying to improve something in their lives. Yet, despite their successes, wealth, and fame, none of them escaped criticism. Some people said they were too big, others said they became too small. Some were accused of cheating, others were accused of lying, and that tells us something uncomfortable. Perhaps the problem isn't celebrity weight. Perhaps it's our expectations. There's a saying in Hollywood, the camera adds 10 pounds. Whether that's true or not, one thing certainly is, Hollywood has always demanded perfection. The rise of Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, and similar medications has sparked a conversation that reaches far beyond weight loss. While these drugs can be life-changing when used appropriately under medical supervision, they are not shortcuts without consequences. Every prescription carries potential benefits, risks, and trade-offs that deserve careful consideration, not social media trends or public pressure. Perhaps the greatest lesson is not about the medication itself, but about the culture that surrounds it. When we turn celebrities into impossible standards of perfection, it creates an environment where appearance is valued more than health, authenticity, and well-being. Behind every dramatic transformation may be a private struggle we will never see. Instead of asking why celebrities change their bodies, maybe we should ask why society expects them to. If we measured people by their character rather than their waistline, perhaps fewer individuals might feel compelled to chase an unattainable ideal at any cost. The real prescription isn't for a thinner body. It is for a healthier perspective. When we stop idolizing perfection and start valuing well-being, everyone wins. My royals, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be rounding up. This is a short but sweet video because I've been having a lot of conversations about this with a lot of people. And it's actually a situation because a lot of our celebrities are so unhealthy now because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses and they have no idea how detrimental this drug can be for them, especially when they haven't got any diabetes, which this drug was meant for. Well, I've thrown some light into it, and I hope some of them will watch it and actually see the detriment it can do to them. But I just want to say thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you next week. I'm actually interviewing a guest next week from India who's had, she's got a story to tell. And I think you will want to see that. So I look forward to seeing you next week for the live show here on YouTube and here on TikTok and here on Facebook as well. Okay. Thank you so much once again for joining me. I wish you a lovely week. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, Edith. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, everyone who's joined me tonight. I really appreciate you and I love you very much. Have a lovely week ahead and I'll see you next time. Okay. Bless your heart. Bye for now. This is where we're going to leave it tonight, my royals. Thank you so much for joining me in this investigation. If you found tonight's documentary informative, thought-provoking, or helpful, please share it with somebody who might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to all my platforms currently showing on your screen right now. Because in this platform, we explore the stories behind the headlines, we challenge conventional thinking, and have conversations that really matter. Until next time, my royals, take care of your body, protect your mind, and never allow someone else's definition of perfection become your prison. Be bold, be kind, and most importantly, be empowered. Okay? I love you very much. Take care. See you next time. Bye for now. Awaken the best version